Hiya VC, it's Steve Whitty here, and with a video that I've been promising to be make for a couple of months. A few videos back I ranked the Beatles comps. Now it's the turn of ranking the Beatles albums. This is based on the fact I've been purchasing the albums through the Agostini's Beatles vinyl collection, and by my reckoning there's 13 official like albums that were released during the Beatles' lifetime. So I am going to rank those. The opinions on my own. There's a good chance you ain't going to agree. You might agree. You might not agree with some of the positionings and some of the explanations. But, you know, one of the great things about the VC is that we all have different opinions, and I think we tolerate each other and tolerate the fact we can have those different opinions. So, get my notebook out. Let me have a quick swig. Pepsi Max and ginger. Very nice it is too. And so, as I said, I'm ranking 13 albums. So, coming in at number 13, I've put Yellow Submarine. The reason I've put this at number 13, obviously the title track comes from the Revolver album, and All You Need Is Love is a single that's also featured elsewhere, and primarily the other songs, Only Northern Songs, All Together Now, Hey Bulldog, It's All Too Much, while good, are probably not as outstanding collectively as what other albums are. And obviously side 2 is the orchestral bit as well. It's not a bad album. I just rank it as probably the lowest of the Beatle albums. At number 12, I've put With the Beatles. This is the second album. This came out in 1963, I think. Was it 64? I can never remember. And what I could say about this album, where I think the debut, Please Please Me, had strengths was the fact it reflected the live show, and it was recorded rather swiftly. It sort of captured that live element. This doesn't as much. There's still elements of the live show still there with some of the covers, Please Mr. Postman and Devil in Her Heart, You Really Got a Hold on Me, and Money. But I think it sort of falters a little bit because I think there was a bit more time taken with it, particularly with their own compositions. This is where George Harrison had his first one, and he sung Roll Over Beethoven, of course. All My Loving, you've got on here. I really don't have to go through the tracks, but I just felt comparison to Please Please Me, this is probably not quite as good as I would hope for. At number 11, I've gone for Magical Mystery Tour. Very much accompanies the film. Essentially, it's 4 tracks. Obviously the magical. One half is basically songs written for the film, and then the other half, again, it's stuff that's been out. I would have said been out before. I'm not sure about Baby You're a Rich Man, but yeah. In fact, I Am the Walrus. It's a B-side. Yeah, well, it may well be connected. Yeah, it's not quite a satisfying listen to say as what came before it, Sgt Pepper. It sort of fills a gap. Going into, there's a film out, here's some songs to go with it. So it does have a feel of a soundtrack to it. At number 10, as I mentioned it before, gone for Please Please Me. Very raw album. Very much reflects what George Martin saw when he went and saw him at the Cavern. He wanted to capture that live sound, and allegedly it was recorded in a day. And you probably tell, but by the time they got to Twist and Shout, which apparently was the last song in the session, John Lennon's voice he was getting every last ounce of energy out of it. Basically shot. But that gives this album its charm. So happy to rank that at number 10. At number 9, I've gone for Let It Be. Of the latter albums, probably not as good. Yes, I think it sort of reflects about what was happening with the band and the whole project of that became Let It Be. You have got some great songs on here. I love Two of Us. One After 909, which dates back to when McCartney and Lennon were first writing together. Across the Universe. I Mean Mine, For You Blue. But I think things like Maggie May, Dig It, and I'm not particularly a fan of The Long and Winding Road, to be quite honest. Sort of brings it down in my estimation. Number 8, I've put Beatles For Sale. And let's get the album out here. There we go. No Reply, I'm a Loser. An improvement on With the Beatles. Certainly, strong songs were getting a lot stronger. Got 8 Days a Week. I'm a Loser. No Reply. Of the original, still doing covers as well. So still elements of the live show in there, but the songwriting was starting to improve, and I think that makes this album a higher than say With the Beatles. At number 7, I have placed Abbey Road. Now this might be a controversial choice. It was very much the last hurrah for the band. And, everybody got back together, even George Martin, Jeff Emerick. It was just like everybody knew this was the end. Again, there's some good songs on this. George Harrison really stands out. Here Comes the Sun and Something. But you have got throwaways like Maxwell Silverhammer and Octopus Garden. I know this is the first time Ringo had a credit. Was it the first time Ringo had a credit? Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong on that one. And then you have that mashup at the end of unfinished songs. It sort of makes it a little bit, but there's that feeling it makes it almost to me feel slightly incomplete. But people still like it, and I like it as well. So just because I've ranked it at number 7 doesn't mean I don't like it. Number 6. I've gone for Hard Day's Night, and James Griffiths has gone on that. He considers this to be the birth of British rock. And I would certainly agree. Considering it was a soundtrack, and I imagine the pressures the band were under to complete the album, especially John and Paul writing these songs. Hard Day's Night, title track, If I Fell, Tell Me Why, You Can't Do That, I'll Be Back. It's just great. It's just a great song, and I think the Beatles are starting to get into their own at this point. Number 5, the Beatles' White Album. I think I've used that joke before, but yes, I've mentioned that the Beatles had gone like 9 to 5, and that was probably more 12 to 8. And this sort of reflects, because this isn't really a band album. You got Paul's songs, you got John's songs, you got George's songs, and in a way, some of it's a bit of a mishmash. Some of it's didn't need to be on there. In a sense, it could have been 1.5 albums, or it could have, But I suppose what makes it is the fact it's a double album. It'd be interesting to hear when they do the 50th anniversary edition, how it sort of how that compares, and especially the songs that were left out. I know we had a little bit on the Anthology 3. So at number 5, White Album. Number 4, I've gone for Sgt Pepper. I know everyone waxes lyrical about how great the album is, and it is a great album. Why I've not ranked it higher, I think it's very much, it is a studio album, and it took the Beatles away from what their strengths were, what being a live band. Nothing wrong with that. They'd had enough of touring. They just wanted to do things for themselves. There are a couple of songs on here that I just think hold it back a little bit. I'm not a great fan of Getting Better, to be quite honest, and I think With Him Without You sort of is a bit long, too long-winded. But hey, it's still a classic album, and a lot of people's number ones, and I will not knock people for that. I'm just expressing my opinion. Number 3, I've gone for Help. And here, I think the songwriting, it's started to go up a notch. John's lyrics on the title track are a shout for help. And they're maturing as writers. You've got It's Only Love, you've got Yesterday, Ticket to Ride, Naturally, which was a cover. So there's still time to covers like Dizzy Miss Lizzy as well. You're going to lose that girl. You've got to hide your love away. The maturity that's coming out in the writing helps put this album high in my estimation. Number 2, Rubber Soul. That link, I think, where you knew the band were really getting to go in a different direction than what's expected. Norwegian Wood, obviously, is the track that emphasises this. But you've got things like Nowhere Man, Michelle, What Goes On, In My Life, just an absolutely beautiful song. If I Need Someone, Drive My Car. This album is just absolutely stonking, in my opinion. And you probably now will have guessed my number 1 is Revolver. I can't really say enough about it. I think this is as perfect an album that the Beatles ever made. I struggle to find a weak song on here. Melodic, yet experimental. Some rockers in there, yet some softer moments. It just encompasses everything that I want in my pop music. You've got the sleeve as well, which is just iconic. And it just closes a chapter on the Beatles' history. They knew that touring was coming to an end, and they wanted to expand themselves musically. I think that's the right way of putting it. So, number 1 is Revolver. So what do you think? I've seen plenty of other videos, so I'm not expecting videos on this. I would like your comments. Thumbs up, thumbs down. And if you are a Beatles fan and you've just stumbled across my channel for the first time and like what you see, click on the subscribe button. 172 now, so small acorns, as they say, large oaks. So enjoy your Friday, your Good Friday, and have a good few days. I'm probably going to record a few videos over the Easter break. I'm not back at work until Tuesday. So until the next time, VC, keep smart, keep spinning, take care of yourself, each other. More importantly, keep smiling.